Can a minor be on the ladybird deed, or does the property have to go to an adult and ownership be transferred back when the minor turns 18? Although there are many advantages to utilizing ladybird deeds if you're in one of the states that allows them, like Florida, there are some downsides that you have to consider, and this is one of them. You can't list a minor child or just a minor in general as the remainderman beneficiary on a ladybird deed. You do have to list someone who's legally an adult. So normally in this scenario, when your beneficiary is a minor, this is when we would look at making sure there's a revocable trust in place, because you can have minors as beneficiaries in a revocable trust because the property in the trust or the assets can be held for their benefit or sold for their benefit or whatever it is. So normally when there's minors involved, we do look at drafting a revocable trust rather than simply utilizing a ladybird deed. Now remember, you can use a ladybird deed in conjunction with the revocable trust, meaning you can actually list the revocable trust itself as the remainderman or the beneficiary with a ladybird deed, and you can have your beneficiaries of the trust listed in the trust. Another important thing to consider with a minor child, especially if this is homestead property, they have rights in the homestead. So if you try to do a deed that removes them from inheriting the property, if you happen to pass away when they're still a minor, you can't do that. I mean, they have rights under the law in homestead property as a minor child. So that's something to consider as well, which is why it's really important if you're in this scenario and there are minor children or other sort of things that need to be considered to get an overall picture of what's the best planning for you. You should go over these details with a qualified estate planning attorney so that you can come up with the best plan for you. One thing I see often in my practice, people who come to me after they went with the least expensive option or the quickest option, or what they thought is just kind of a quick thing to do at the time, rather than do what's the right fit, it often creates more expense, more stress down the road. So it's usually best to just meet with an attorney who really knows what they're doing. That way you can get it done correctly from the get-go, and you typically do end up saving a lot in the long run. So I hope this answers your question. No minors on ladybird deeds. If you have any other questions about ladybird deeds, trust, estate planning, asset protection, probate, anything at all about those topics or other topics, and you're in Florida, please don't hesitate to contact our office. We're at Cause Law Office, the non-stuffy attorneys, and the link is in my bio.